Well, it's been talked about heavily, and the winter storm of 2015 is finally here. On this special edition of Let's Talk DeKalb, we're going to talk to several DeKalb County employees and departments who are working to make sure that DeKalb County is prepared and ready to make sure that our county is safe during this winter storm. Let's Talk DeKalb starts right now. Hello, and thank you for joining us on this special severe cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb. I'm Diamond Lewis. We're reporting today on location from the DEMA headquarters. DEMA is the DeKalb Emergency Management Agency. Joining us now is Sue Leffler, the director of DEMA. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
Now, Sue, we're here for something really important, and certainly our viewers are seeing it all over the news and reading it on the local papers. Talk to us about what's going on in terms of our weather. We have a winter weather advisory?
We actually have a winter weather warning in place today. So the warning means that we have imminent cold weather, whether it's ice and snow, and we are expecting that today.
Talk to me about how you and your team jump into action when we get these kinds of advisories coming across your desk.
So usually, whether it's through the news or the National Weather Service or DEMA, we get alerted several days in advance for an upcoming weather event. So we start coordinating not just with our local departments here at DeKalb, but also with DEMA, the National Weather Service, and several other weather agencies that we have access to kind of try and get a better forecast and see what's coming. So we start with National Weather Service calls. They have a call that goes statewide. Usually in the beginning it's once a day. Sometimes it goes up to 3 times a day and even up to 4 o'clock in the morning depending on the incoming weather and if we haven't been able to track it very well.
You know, we just actually witnessed the call from today. Talk to us about how we had all DeKalb County officials around the table, and you could hear on the call there were people from, as you said, statewide, and it's important to make sure everyone's on the same page. Talk to us about that.
So on the call you get everybody from emergency management directors to the governors on the call, GDOT's on the call, state troopers are on the call, so everybody is trying to get the same information so that we all can be on the same page. It gives us everything from what the actual forecast is to what timing we expect to how much precipitation we're going to get and in what form. Whether there's an actual very sharp line of below I-20 we may get rain and above I-20 we're expecting sleet, freezing rain, or a mix of snow.
So it's important to let our residents know that DeKalb County is prepared and ready for this?
Very much so. We plan days in advance. We coordinate with the county departments, everybody from roads and drainage, and you might not even think of sanitation, but sanitation comes through with their chainsaw crews and helps clean up all the debris that ends up in the roads or blocking the roads so that not only can our citizens get through, but our public safety officers can get through.
And then you also get calls from the school system and the cities in DeKalb County. Talk to us about that and how you really are the go-to person to find out if an agency is going to be closed.
Yes, we get asked a lot because we have so many different information sources. A lot of folks come to us because I do have multiple sources of information. So when the school system starts talking about whether they're going to close or whether they should delay school or what's the best for their students and their parents to be able to get their kids, they start asking us, and a lot of times they make that decision at 3:30 in the morning. If we have a severe thunderstorm that's coming across Alabama, usually they'll call me at about 3:30 in the morning to see, are we still in that tornado watch area? Is our code red still going to send out those weather warnings for in the morning? So do we need to delay to keep those kids safe at home so that they're not outside in the middle of that storm?
On the National Weather Service call, I heard the gentleman say very clearly the winter storm is here. So now that the winter storm is here and we're expecting the precipitation and we're expecting for the road conditions to be hazardous, although we're prepared for them, what should our residents do and what should they know to make sure that they and their families are safe?
Well, it's part of our whole emergency preparedness package. We want people to be prepared to take care of themselves and their families as well as their pets for at least up to 72 hours. Because if you think about all the ice and snow and all the calls that are coming into the 911 center, we try and get to everybody as fast as we can with our police and our fire rescue and our ambulance. But sometimes if your heat is out, you need to be able to take care of yourself. So you need to have what we call a go kit in your house. So you need to have X amount of water for however many folks you have in your house as well as your pets. You need to be able to pack up if you have to leave your house because you don't have heat. And if you need to go to one of the warming centers, you need to be able to be ready to pack up and go. So you need blankets and you need hats and you need gloves so that you can brave the weather to get out to make sure that you and your family are safe.
And that's an important note. DeKalb County does have warming centers available for that purpose. Talk to me about exactly what is a warming center and when should our residents decide this is the time for us to go to that warming center?
We open up warming centers for exactly warming purposes. So what you are there to do is to be able to come in, get warm, make arrangements, whether it's just waiting for your power to come back on for a couple of hours, or whether you need to make arrangements for your family to be able to come stay with a friend or a relative if you have severe damage to your house and you know it's going to be a couple of days before you can get back into your house. So a warming center, we use our recreation centers and we use our libraries during their regular working hours, and then we have 4 fire stations we open on a routine basis that you can go into because that's open 24, they're open at night, and there are people there.
Now, Sue, if our viewers wanted to find more information about what your office does, how would they contact your office and get the regular updates that you put out?
We update our Facebook page on a routine basis. It is DEMA DeKalb, and we are also on the DeKalb County website under the police department, and it's DEMA.
And then one more question. You didn't know I was going to ask you this, but I have to ask. It has been a joy working with you, and whenever we need to make a call and find out what's going on, even in our office, we know we can call you directly. Talk to me about your passion for what you do.
I've been with DeKalb for 22 years now, whether it's been fire rescue, initially as a paramedic, and then cross-training as a firefighter, and now in emergency management. And I love responding and helping people and making sure that our citizens get what they need. So it's what I love, and that's why I'm here.
And you're very humble, but last year during the snow jam of 2014, you jumped into action in such a way that everyone took notice. And following your response, the CEO named you as director of this agency.
He did.
It was an honor that was certainly due.
I was rather surprised, but yeah, it's just, I love learning new things, and emergency management was, after 19 years of just fire rescue and paramedic, it's a new avenue, and it was something that I just found I loved.
Sue, we certainly feel safer with you being here. Thank you so much for all that you do for DeKalb County and for joining us today on Let's Talk DeKalb.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with this special edition of Let's Talk DeKalb right after the break.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to this special severe cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb. And I'm AvivA Hoffmann right here at DEMA headquarters. Very excited because we have briefly pulled away Chief of Fire Darnell Fulham. Thank you for taking a little time out. You're obviously busy, and we're excited to have you on the show and to learn about more of this collaboration between the fire department and all the other first responders.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, we haven't had the cold weather hit just quite yet, but there is a lot of preparation going on. Tell us a little bit about your role and your department's role in this preparation.
Well, you're exactly right. There's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes, if you will. For our stations, obviously, they operate 24 hours. So the crews are there. They came in this morning and they're well prepared for what may occur. But what we were also able to do is bring some extra help in. Since the county, in essence, is shut down right now, we have our fire marshal's office and our training division that normally would be doing normal course of business, but now they're pulled in and they're extra resources that we can put out into the stations. Right now, we also have a training class. So we have 94 recruits that are not going to be in classrooms today, but what they're doing is helping us by manning the stations and serving as points for civilians that may come in if they need to either stay warm or maybe because their cars have stopped working.
That's brilliant. That's a real-world training, I'd say. They'll be very prepared when they move from recruit to firefighter.
Absolutely, and they enjoy it.
And you have a few warming stations, right, in the county. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, we have set up Station 6, 8, 21, and 25, and we have those on our website. You can find those addresses that are set up as warming stations. So if somebody's power was to go out and they needed a place just to get warm, then they can come to those locations. But they can go to any of our stations. All of our stations are open, once again, 24 hours. If you need help, you're welcome to come to the station and we'll help you.
That's a great service for anyone in DeKalb County. And when you're speaking about this, it also reminds me that the fire department, you guys go over above and beyond, especially during crises. But all year long, every day, 24/7, you're open and you are doing so much more than putting water on a fire. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Sometimes it's not known that 85% of the calls that we respond to are going to be EMS related. So it's not going to be the fire calls. Those can be anything from a car wreck to a heart attack. You're going to have the fire department come. And so most of the work that we do day in and day out doesn't relate to what you may see on the evening news when there's those large apartment fires, but it's just helping the citizens in any way that we can.
So what has the experience been like for you as a department head, as the chief of fire, to come together with all of these different department heads and different employees where you're really preparing for the emergency weather?
Well, first of all, my experience has been good. What I've found is there's a lot of professional folks here that really do understand that it is important to have communication and collaboration when it comes to an event like this. We can't do it alone. The fire department can't act alone, police department can't act alone. We need everybody involved, and that's what's going to make it a success at the end.
I think in some aspect it's actually a positive thing, but our viewers and a lot of the public, really, they don't have a clue all the prepared aspects, all the work that goes on behind the scenes, and which is a real testament to such a organized system. But what are some of the main challenges, would you say, that you're having to focus on and look at and prepare for during severe weather?
Well, I think the one that probably gets overlooked at these times is the fact that you still have those emergencies that we would have on any given day. It could be a structure fire call. It could be a heart attack. It could be any of those things that could occur, once again, on any other given day that could occur now that we have ice or maybe snow on the ground. So we still have to be able to get to those individuals. We still have to provide them service. We have to have a timely response. So it's important for us not only to think about the fact that there's snow on the ground and somebody may be trapped in a car that's related to the ice event or the snow event, but just simply that somebody may have an emergency and we need to be able to get there. So it's making sure that the roads are clear. So that's where transportation comes in, making sure that we have chains for our vehicles and that our drivers can actually operate and know how to operate on a possible icy road or possibly where there's snow. So all those things have to be taken into consideration when we have an event like this.
And we sure are glad that y'all consider those things and that you're there.
Yeah, thank you.
Also speaking about severe weather, now kind of jumping to all year long, your department, your crew members, firefighters, you do so much. You open your firehouses for all kinds of services. Maybe touch a little bit on that because that's every day of the year.
Right. We consider our fire stations to be safe havens. And what that means is if there's an emergency, you can come to that fire station and we'll get you help. If we can't do it, we're going to find out who can. Our fire stations, once again, are open 24 hours. So there's going to be someone there unless they're on a call. But most of our stations even have an emergency buzzer that you can hit, and so you can get help that way. If there's not someone there, stay there. There will be someone who will come back. So we want the citizens to think of our stations as a place that they can come when they don't know where to go or they don't know who to call.
Very good. I didn't know about the buzzer. And also just something as simple as if you need to test out your blood pressure, right?
Absolutely.
You offer that
Yeah.
service, right?
Yeah, I was at one of the stations the other day visiting with the crew, and someone came to the door and they wanted to get their blood pressure checked. And I asked, does that happen often here? They said they had probably somewhere between 5 to 10 people who came every day.
Wow.
And got their blood pressure checked because they didn't have anywhere else to go and they needed to do it maybe because of dialysis or some other medical condition that they have. So these are individuals that know that they can come. They know the crews know them, and they know they're going to have a interaction that's going to be positive.
All right, that's good to know. Now, if someone is seeing this and they want to find out more about the fire department and the services that y'all offer, where would they go to get that information?
Well, the county website is where I would start, and we have plenty of information that tells not only about the services that they may know about, but there's a ton of them that they may not know about. Everything from seniors, we have a seniors program that talks about safety. We find that a lot of times with seniors, the injuries they have may be ground level falls. It may be just simply tripping. So we have a program for that. We also install car seats. And we have certain stations that you can go to and have a car seat installed. So there's plenty of information at the website that they can find, and hopefully they'll go and take a tour.
Yes, www.DeKalbCountyGA.gov on the county's webpage. That's great. Now, when you spoke about recruits earlier, you at one time were a recruit, and probably quite a few years ago. Why are you in this quote-unquote helping business? Why do you do what you do? And we're thankful for it, by the way.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, 27 years ago, almost 28 now. Yes, I would have been at the recruit school, and you know, it may sound very simplistic, but I knew that I wanted to be in a job that helped people. And being in the fire service, what it gives you is that immediate satisfaction that what you've done is help somebody, whether they're in a car wreck, whether it's simply needing directions or a blood pressure check. But there's immediate satisfaction you get that you've made a difference.
Absolutely, we're very grateful. And DCTV is grateful that you are on our show today.
Well,
thank you, Chief Fulham, for
Thank
being
you.
here. You're welcome. Now stay tuned. We have a lot more for this special cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please,
Don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Our next stop in covering DeKalb County's collaborative response to the winter storm of 2015 takes us here to DeKalb County's Roads and Drainage Department. With a staff of approximately 200 employees, all working to maintain more than 2,000 miles of county roadways, this department works around the clock to ensure a safe means of travel for us all each and every day, but especially during severe weather events.
I mean, they come to work every day. We patch potholes, we fix drainage structures, we repair traffic signals. That's what we do every day for the public. But we kind of kick it in second gear when it comes to emergency response.
DeKalb Roads and Drainage certainly kicked it up during the snow jam of 2014.
Last year's storm, we had to call the crews in, and they worked 16-hour shifts around the clock. 16 hours on, 8 hours off to rest. They stayed on site, they slept here, they ate here.
That same commitment has continued to this year.
Now it's shooting out sand as we speak.
As the county prepares, these crews pre-treat the roads in response to the looming threats of the winter storm of 2015. As part of DCTV's ongoing coverage of DeKalb County's response to the winter storm, we went out on a quick ride with DeKalb County's Roads and Drainage Department. Now, you know that our Roads and Drainage Department works to make sure that the roads throughout DeKalb County are safe for us all to travel. But guess what? They also come out to fire stations and police departments to make sure our first responders can get out when they have a call. And while we were here, right at fire station number 24 in DeKalb County, that's exactly what happened. Talk to me about how you're clearing the path for your truck, certainly, but you're also clearing the path a lot of times our first responders have to go out on emergency calls.
Correct.
They need a path clear.
Correct. We do fire, we do the fire department, we do the police department. We make sure everybody that's for its public safety concern that we can move around. Everybody, the whole county can move around and help each other out.
Just as 13-year veteran Roderick Hollenshed spread a mixture of salt and sand at DeKalb Fire Station 24, first responders raced out on the freshly treated road. Sirens blaring as the engine rushed to a nearby home in flames, an unexpected demonstration of how these crews worked hand in hand to keep the county safe, one equally reliant upon the other, occurred right before our very eyes.
Last year, we had a large fire truck that was stuck. Our guys went out and spreaded salt and sand and dug that truck out by hand. And that's just an example of some of the things that the guys do. No job is too large, no job is too small. When they put their boots on in the morning when we have an emergency, they're in for the long haul.
DeKalb currently has a total of 12 salt and sand spreading trucks equipped with snow plows to cover the entire county. Some of the additional work comes through the grueling efforts of crews literally spreading salt and sand with hand shovels, coupled with the strategic planning of county officials.
We set priorities. The first thing we like to do is take care of public safety. After the police and fire stations, then we make sure that the hospitals are taken care of. Every hospital within the DeKalb County borders is salt and sand. After our emergency locations, then we take care of those primary locations that we always know we're going to have a problem with.
Facing the brunt of the pending storm also requires planning. In this instance, the county used time as its chief weapon in response to the storm.
We began preparation for the 2015 storm season at the end of the 2014 storm season.
More than doubling the amounts of salt and sand housed in this shed last year, DeKalb has 400 tons of salt and sand pre-mixed and ready to distribute, and an additional 1,000 tons of salt and a couple thousand tons of sand not yet mixed. An incredible feat, considering both elements were harder to come by this year due to the reluctance of northern agencies to sell their artillery in the event of a storm as heavy as last year.
The number one job is safety. You know, if you can do it, if you can be safe, then the job will get done.
But perhaps the most essential weapon in DeKalb County's fight to keep our roads safe is the commitment and dedication of its employees.
That's the tempo.
You guys pull some incredibly long shifts. Everybody I know, they were saying, oh, good, we're closed, so I get a chance to stay at home with my family. Talk to me about the fact that most of the county is closed, but you guys are still out here doing your job.
I will be out here than at home looking out the window.
And in this department, that commitment starts from the top, a fact proven after we noticed and asked about this bag in her office during our interview with Alan.
That's my overnight bag. I will be staying with the guys tonight. I mean, I don't ask them to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. It's a difficult job. They're willing to do it, and I'm willing to do it too.
So you love what you do?
Yeah, I like what I do, love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing, really. At the end, everybody was happy that we did a good job. You know, even the fire department, Marta got stranded, and we was all out there, and we were getting truck there to them, and we even had people, they holler out the window, thank y'all, we can get home, we can get home.
Well, I just have to say, on behalf of us here at DCTV, certainly for giving us a ride along today, but really, on behalf of the entire county, we just want to say thank you for all that you're doing.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, now let's hit the road.
Okay.
A special thank you to Roderick Hollenshed for showing us his compassion and dedication to making sure that DeKalb County's roads remain safe and as clear as possible during the winter storm. We also want to say thank you to our entire Roads and Drainage Department for those 16-hour days and making sure that we're all safe. Now, I'm going back to the studio to continue this special LTD report of Winter Storm 2015.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww, they walk like a monkey, hop like a bunny. Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants. They've got ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants. Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants. They got ants in their pants. They got ants in their pants.
One more time.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants. They've got ants in their pants, they got...
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No. Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to this special severe cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb. And right now we are honored to be interviewing the Chief of Police, James Conroy with DeKalb County. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, thank you.
Actually, I should thank you because tell us where we are right now.
Okay, we're at the DeKalb Police Headquarters. We're in the Emergency Operations Center, which is in the police headquarters building.
Yeah, and it's really an amazing thing going on behind us and throughout the night and the morning. You're really collaborating and preparing for severe weather. People might look out the window and say, nothing's going on, it's cold, or, but how is DeKalb County making sure that everyone is operating and safe and everything is going smoothly?
Yes, well, as of 9 a.m. this morning, we were put under a winter weather warning.
So there is some severe winter weather that's coming into our region. So we opened up the emergency operation at 10 o'clock, staffed it with members, representatives from various departments from county government. So we're prepared for the storm. Right now it looks like this storm it's a moving target. The line of delineation from snow to just rain is a very fine line, and that line has not been pinpointed. Right now they're talking anywhere around I-20. So we've got to be prepared for that line to shift, and we've got all of our resources in place. We've had many planning meetings. We just finished our latest weather briefing, so we're ready to go. We're expecting some winter weather to approach here between 1 and 3 p.m., and when it does, it's going to be heavy and fast.
Well, it's always tricky, especially in this part of Georgia, in this part of the United States, about how the weather's going to go. We get real roller coaster weather, but even in general, DeKalb County, you are well, I wouldn't even say over-prepared, it's prepared enough, but you're always thinking about, you know, what can we do, what are the scenarios? And I think in the operations here, there's a good collaboration. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you bring in different agencies and what y'all do?
Right.
People don't see that outside.
Absolutely. So, you know, we learned a lot of lessons last year. Last year was a huge event, huge multiple events.
Absolutely.
Many of us spent the night here in our offices and sleeping in cots and in sleeping bags. Last year, we do a great job always working with police, fire, and EMS, public safety. That's what we do. We manage crises. We manage them together. Last year, we brought in roads and drainage, sanitation. This year, we've actually even brought in some more folks. So if you see in the Emergency Ops Center, we've already got the IT, so our infrastructure folks are here. Our communications folks are here for all of the meetings, all the prep work. They're seated where they're supposed to be. So we went into operation here at 10 a.m. and we're a little bit ahead of the weather, which is good. That's how you want to do it.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be struggling to get here amidst ice and snow. We're already here, we're operating, so we're going to watch things as they unfold.
And we've been watching firsthand. The communication, the collaboration is really amazing. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges, you know, from your lens, the Chief of Police, you know, when you face this kind of weather?
Many challenges. You know, number one is employees. All of our essential employees have to be here, which that's really 99% of the police department are considered essential employees. So we've got to make sure they can get here. And when you've got this line of winter weather, we have to determine where people live. If they live in Gwinnett or Cobb County, we have to look at the weather there to see if they're able to make it to work. We do have transportation available. We can go pick up those employees who are unable to make it and who are essential. Court operations, we were just talking the magistrate court. They have to operate. We're still arresting people. They're still entitled to go for their first appearance hearings. So we arrange, between us and the Sheriff's Department, we arrange for transportation of the judges and the court personnel.
The world doesn't stop just because of weather.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, you mentioned you still have to arrest people and keep the public safe, but you also, I mean, your first responders are out there, they're helping people with, you know, broken down cars or warming centers. Can you think of some ways that you all are helping, because you do that?
You know, the warming centers, which, you know, we've got several fire stations have been designated as warming centers. Our libraries, of course, closed due to the weather today. When the government closed, the libraries closed. So we have to be cognizant of some of the homeless individuals or people that might be visiting in town, get involved in an accident and don't have somewhere to stay. So we work on the warming centers, and we do work with our business community. We've talked with several of the hotels, and they offer reduced rates for some of our employees who cannot make it home.
Oh, that's good.
And so they get to stay at their expense. They'll stay at hotels, but it's at a reduced rate.
All right, well, as a DeKalb resident, I would like to thank you and your whole crew for what y'all do for us.
Oh, no, thank you.
And thanks for being on our show today.
Okay.
All right, Chief. Well, stay tuned for lots more on this special cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back to this special severe cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb. We're still reporting on location from the headquarters of DEMA. Again, that's DeKalb's Emergency Management Agency headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have John Metelsky, who's our Director of IT in DeKalb County.
Pleasure to be with you, Diamond.
Now, we're showing how all the different DeKalb County agencies are coming together with a collaborative effort to make sure that we all stay safe and informed. Talk to me about the role that your office plays in doing just that.
Sure. So the Information Technology Group, we provide support for all of the technology that supports all aspects of the county, and during events such as this, being able to make sure that all the public safety vehicles have the data still going out to their vehicles, sure, that the CAD and the records management system, that stays up and running, and that the people working in the operations center, whether it be this main one or some of the outside ones that we have, like over at Watershed Management and those types of places, making sure that the connectivity stays up, that we're able to communicate with each other, and most importantly, that we're able to dispatch to those citizens and constituents that may have a need during an event like this.
And again, we're reporting on location from the headquarters for DEMA, and it is an impressive facility. You see rows and rows of computers, the large smart boards all around, and you all play a very important role in making sure that all of this continues to work every day. So talk to us about this.
Sure. So, I mean, you're right. We do have a lot of equipment in there. We probably have over 30 laptop devices and all the monitors and, like you said, the smart monitors and those types of things. And that's how all the different emergency support functions work and cooperate and collaborate together. We also have to ensure that communications with the state of Georgia, with other counties, with the municipalities, that those things continue to remain up and running, and that we also have a conduit in place whereby we're able to accept constituent and citizen concerns, whether it be via email, the phone, through the 911 system. We just want to make sure that we have a presence before, during, and then after any event to make sure that the systems are up and running and that we're able to perform during crises like this.
Right. So certainly internal communications is important, but you just touched on briefly external communications. And we just saw you sitting side by side with our press secretary for DeKalb County, and you all were working on sending out press releases. So we're now taking the information we receive here, right here from DEMA, and making sure the citizens are aware of what weather storm is hitting, where we are in the status of what's going to take place with this weather storm. So talk to us about that and how we're helping to externally communicate as well.
Sure. I mean, weather events like this, things change at any given moment. Sure. And events happen, whether it be on the roadways or electrical lines dropping or what have you. So we need to be able to be here to support, again, from a technology perspective, to make sure that those emails can go out, to make sure that the devices that those emails are being sent from are going out, to make sure that the communications between the state and the county continue to be up and running. So in a perfect world, we'll just be sitting back hoping that absolutely nothing happens from a technology perspective. All the computers are up and running and there aren't any issues. But we all know, whether we're at home or at work, that's not how it is with computers. Every once in a while we'll have a glitch here and there. And it's really important for us to be here collaboratively working, monitoring the systems. And during any given event, we will have things that happen that could potentially cause a problem in terms of getting that information out to the constituents or to the citizens, and we want to make sure that we're here supporting that because as important as it is for the firemen and the police officers and the water sewer folks being out there to help the community, if some of those back-end resources aren't available, those communications could be delayed or hampered in some way, and we're just not willing to make that happen. So we have people from our network team, from our desktop support team, from our email team, server team. We have people at the ready here to support just in case anything happens.
Right, and you guys are working around the clock as well.
We work around the clock no matter what, but especially during an event, we've got more people at the ready just in case something happens.
Now, as I took a tour through the headquarters here at DEMA, it became so painfully obvious how reliant we are upon technology. So, we see the stories of a whole community loses power. you know, we lose power in our homes from time to time, especially during these types of storms. So could something like that happen here? Because that's frightening.
There are some facilities where that could happen, but within this facility and all of the mission critical facilities that provide support, whether it be public safety, water, sewer, those kinds of things, we have backup power, we have redundant power, we have uninterrupted power supplies, we have so many different fail-safes in place that this facility will not lose power. This facility will stay up and running. And oh, by the way, this is the same facility where our 911 computer-aided dispatch and records management folks are. So when other parts of the county may be impacted by electrical issues or those kinds of things, this building is considered our last building standing. It could operate as an island if needed. So again, even if some of our other buildings were down and we have some other systems that may not be mission critical but are still important to other users within the county, this building rather can be sustained as an island, and that's been that way ever since this facility has been built, and that is the way it will continue to be as important as this building is.
That's wonderful. And then the last thing is, if someone who's watching this program needs tips on how to prepare and provide for their families during this time, or if they need to find out where our warming centers are, they can go right to the DeKalb County website thanks to your work.
Absolutely, and it's a coordinated effort across the county. The different departments update their own information, but you're right. We make sure the site stays up and running, and then the different groups that need to update it, they do their thing as well.
And then I've got to give you a high five. You're also responsible for the live stream and video on demand content we offer. Yes, this is a shameless plug, but because of you, we offer a 24-hour live stream of DCTV's programming, and we also have video on demand content. So we want to say thank you and high five for that.
Quite welcome. Our pleasure.
John Matelsky, thank you so much for all that you do and for joining us on this special edition of Let's Talk DeKalb.
Thank you, Diamond.
Stick around. We have much more Let's Talk DeKalb coming back after the break.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Just like people, a pet's tolerance for cold weather can vary. Much of that is based on their coat, body fat, activity level, and health. So it's a good idea to be aware and adjust accordingly. Most all pets have to go outdoors from time to time, no matter the weather. Be sure to watch for cracked or bleeding paw pads during extreme temperatures. Outdoor and feral cats are often drawn to a warm engine, but it could be deadly. The next time you're heading out for a drive, be sure to check underneath your car, bang on the hood, and honk the horn before starting the engine. If your pet has a short coat or seems bothered by the cold weather, consider a sweater or other pet clothing. Just be sure to keep it dry. During walks, a dog's feet, legs, and belly may pick up de-icers, antifreeze, or other toxic chemicals. Wipe down or wash your pet's feet, legs, and belly to reduce potential poisoning. Also, snow and ice can hide recognizable scents that might help a pet find their way home. So it's a good idea to make sure your pet has a well-fitting collar with current contact information. A microchip is very helpful too, but be sure to keep the registration information current. Hot cars are a known problem for pets, but cars sitting in cold weather are dangerous too. They can become as cold as a refrigerator pretty rapidly. Don't leave your pet unattended in your vehicle during severe weather. No pet should be in extreme temperatures for long periods of time, but if you can't keep your pet inside, make sure the animal has a solid shelter against the wind and access to fresh, non-frozen water. Learn to recognize problems. If your pet is whining, shivering, seems anxious or weak, slows down or even stops moving, it may be a sign of hypothermia. And finally, be prepared. Cold weather is often accompanied by power outages. Prepare a disaster emergency kit and include your pet in your plans. That means having at least a 5-day supply of food, water, and medicine for your pet too. For more cold weather pet safety information, consult your pet's veterinarian. Also, you can go online to the American Veterinary Association's website at avma.org. AvivA Hoffmann, Let's Talk DeKalb.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Don't look at me. Your hair's been today. You should pick that up. Yes, I am. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Your crush is
Every
looking at
day,
you.
kids witness bullying. They want to help, but don't know how.
Here's gonna help
Teach
you.
your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Well, that does it. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special severe cold weather edition of Let's Talk DeKalb. We hope we provided you with tips and information that will help to keep you and your family safe as we battle the winter storm of 2015 here in DeKalb County. If you want more information on the special tips or any contact information for the people we interviewed during today's show, make sure you visit the DeKalb County website, or again, just tune in to us right here on DCTV Channel 23. Here is all of our social media information so that you can stay in the know and out in the streets with us. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Be safe.